Have you ever felt like you're out of sync in life? Like you're not in your harmony? Well, Taoism is here. Taoism will guide you to sync again and will help you to live in a harmonious life. Together with my groupmates Billy, James, Kurt, Arnell, and Kimberly, we are about to take you to China where Taoism is rampant and mostly practiced. Taoism is one of the religion and philosophy from ancient China that emerged in a similar time period as Confucianism and has influenced folk and national belief. Taoism has been connected to the philosopher Lao Tzu, who wrote the main book of Taoism, the Tao Te Ching, around 500 BCE or before Christian era. Taoism holds that humans and animals should live in balance with the Tao or the universe. Taoists believe in spiritual immortality where the spirit of the body joins the universe after death. The Tao Te Ching or the Way and Its Power is a collection of poetry and sayings from around the 3rd and 4th centuries BCE that guides Taoist thoughts and actions. This book was given an origin with the philosopher Lao Tzu for cultural and political reasons. Lao Tzu is sometimes understood as the image of the Tao, or a god, and given legendary status. The Tao is hard to define, but it's sometimes understood as the way of the universe. Taoism teaches that all living creatures ought to live in a state of harmony with the universe and the energy found in it. Qi is the energy present in and guiding everything in the universe. The Tao Te Ching and other Taoist books provide guides for behaviors and spiritual ways of living in harmony with the energy. However, Taoists do not believe in this energy as God. Rather, there are gods as part of the Taoist beliefs, often introduced from the various cultures found in the region known now as China. Taoism became well known in the 8th century CE as the religion of the Tang dynasty. In the following centuries, it existed alongside Buddhism and Confucianism. However, during the communist takeover in 1959, Taoism, Confucianism, and other religions were banned, which caused a decline in the practice of Taoism in China. For us to know more about Taoism, the group will present the philosophies, the beliefs, the principles, the symbols of Taoism, and the major Taoist sectors.
What's up, you guys? It's me, Seely. So for today's topic, we'll be talking about the 4 philosophy of Taoism. So the first philosophy we'll be talking about is simplicity. The Taoist way of life teaches to let all of those desires go. The Taoist way teaches to remain in harmony and to see things in simplicity by comparing or even being in one with nature, the truest simplicity in life. By today's standard way of living, this goal seems to be near impossible. Founder of Taoism, he advocated morality, adaptation to nature, governing by doing nothing, and having a small territory with a small population. Lao Tzu proposed the contentment rule for how to satisfy the needs of customers based on good desires and simplicity. On this quote, there is no guilt greater than to sanction ambition, no calamity greater than to be discontented with one's lot. So on this quote, he thought the standard of satisfaction did not lie in material goods, but the contentment of one's heart if the person could be content with what he had. Next philosophy is going with the flow. So the idea of going with the flow finds the strongest voice in the Taoist, Buddhist, and Stoic traditions. Tao is usually translated as way or path, but it represents the mysterious, indescribable foundation of all being. Another essential teaching of Taoism is power of gentleness. By forcing and striving, we might get the job done, but at the same time, we spend much more energy than necessary and possibly suffer from collateral damage. On the other hand, someone in a state of flow approaches a task intelligently, knowing when to act, and finds a balance between action and non-action. It's a golden path between anxiety and boredom. The idea behind non-action goes the Western idea of forcing and working harder to get results. We are encouraged to be ambitious, to take control, and to strive. Meanwhile, many people suffer from depression, anxiety disorders, and sleep disorders. When we look at nature, doing nothing makes way more sense than we tend to think. Results do not equal the amount of energy we spend. Results are the consequences of a series of actions, and many of these actions come naturally, and a task doesn't need more human intervention than necessary to steer it into the right direction. Isn't it? It's so many problems solve themselves by letting themselves go with the flow. So let us start this third philosophy. It says that who can be still until their mud settles and the water is cleared by itself? Can you remain tranquil until the right action occurs by itself? The master doesn't seek fulfillment, for only those who are not full can be used, which brings the feeling of completeness. Letting go means that we do not grasp for something. This doesn't mean that we should never do that, but in many cases, it is unnecessary to find a sense of fulfillment and completeness. So, moving on to our last philosophy is harmony. Taoism is religion based on Tao doctrine, the way to achieve harmony. Tao is the beginning of everything, and its main role is to follow faith, the flow of life, without resistance and sometimes just drift, going with the flow.
Now, let's move on to the core beliefs of Taoism. The core of the basic beliefs of Taoism is that Tao is the origin of the universe and law of all things in the universe. Taoist believes that people can become deities or live forever through practicing certain rituals and austerities. Taoism holds that humans and animals should live in balance with the Tao or the universe. Taoists believe in spiritual immortality, where the spirit of the body joins the universe after death. The main ideas of Taoism is the belief in balancing forces or yin and yang. These ideas represent matching pairs such as light and dark, hot and cold, action and inaction, which work together toward a universal whole. Yin and Yang show that everything in the universe is connected and that nothing makes sense by itself. One of the Taoism beliefs and practices is that one should focus on his individuality and nature rather than focusing on society. The ultimate goal of life must be to adjust according to the way of life and the way the universe is shaping it. Following the path which the universe has decided for us is the ultimate way of achieving satisfaction in life. Taoism also focuses on bringing harmony through the way of meditation and disengagement from worldly possessions. The philosophy believes that through meditation, one can develop better concentration as well as can seek harmony and peace in this world of desires and
Before you can begin to understand Taoism principles, you must learn to be an observer of life around you. This requires meditation and deep contemplation as well as physical observation. The first Taoism principle, Taoism is philosophy that is based in nature and the energies that keep everything in order and harmony. Wu Wei is an non-action aspect of Taoism when you realize you are part of the whole and understand the Taoism principle. The second Taoism principle, the dynamic balance in life, is to opposite completing each other in effort to form one. This is clearly demonstrated in the Yi or female and the Yang male. Energies that these two energies are opposite but when joined together form a complete energy known as Qi. The third Taoism principle, you can witness the cycle of life by being the observer. The day and night are a 24 cycling process of the sun and the moon. The four seasons of winter, spring, summer, and fall are the life cycle of nature. The human and animal cycle is the birth and death. The Tao is a never-ending cycle of energy transformation. And the last one is the fourth Taoism principle. Harmony is the nature state of being. Being balanced means you are just aggressive as you are passive. You are all the things and nothing until you can actualize the true meaning of oneness.
The most well-known Taoist symbol is the yin-yang, a circle divided into two swirling sections. The one is black and the other is white, with the smaller circle of the opposite color nestled within each half. The yin-yang symbol can be found embedded within a more complex Taoist image called Tai Chi Chu, which is a virtual representation of all the Taoist cosmology. Also within the Tai Chi Tu, we found a symbol of the interaction among the 5 elements, which produce the 10,000 things. The Bagua are the trigrams that represent various combinations of the yin and yang. The yin-yang symbol is one you're probably already familiar with. It represents Taoism's way of understanding opposites. For example, masculine or feminine, light and dark. The Tao differentiates into Supreme Yang, Lesser Yang, Supreme Yin, and Lesser Yin. It then combined in various ways to form the Bagua, the 8 symbols or the 8 trigrams. In the circles of the diagram are the Chinese names of each of the trigrams. Each trigrams consists of 3 lines, either broken or solid. The trigrams in the combination of 2 make up the 64 hexagrams of the Yi Jing, a principle prescriptive of the divination technique of Taoism. The ordering of the 8 trigrams comes in 2 basic arrangements, the early or the pre-Heaven Bagua and the later or post-Heaven Bagua. The pre-Heaven Bagua represents heavenly influences. The post-Heaven Bagua represents earthly influences. According to Taoism, our job as human is to align ourselves intelligently so that we can derive the greatest benefit from the heaven and the earth influences.
So my topic is all about the principal Taoist sectors. So the first one is the Heavenly or Celestial Masters Act, founded in West China on 2nd century Anno Domini. So it was founded by Chao Taoling, who reputedly possessed remarkable masters about healing. So he advocated the healing through confession of sin. So at the time, he was also recruited as a member of soldier against the war in government. So the next one is the Supreme Peace sector, also founded in 2nd century Anno Domini. Adopted practices much like the heavenly or celestial sector. So it launched a great rebellion against, and that went on several years before ending 205 Anno Domini.